Alright gang, welcome back to our survival challenge here on New Frontier. It is April now, and rain's in the forecast yet again today. I'm attempting, trying to do the best I can here to outline the field that will eventually be our sugarcane field, as we talked about towards the end of the last episode. And I've already got all the trees down here. We've got some stumps to get rid of, as you would typically expect, but we're getting the outline done first, and then we'll come back and take care of the stumps from there. Just makes them a little bit easier to see. Made a decent amount of money, as you can see, between the last episode and now. We've got $309,000. A lot of money from the trees, man. The trees are finally starting to come through to a point where we're making a lot of money. Having 3 sawmills all on selling certainly helps, but... How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. This is going to be a relatively decent-sized sugarcane field here, gang. I'm trying to make it... It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to have to do a lot of touch-up work here, but I'm trying to do as best I can to make this as much of a relative square, rectangle, whatever, as I can. I want it to be relatively straight around the edges, if at all possible. So it's going to take a little work, and we'll probably utilize a little bit of paint and then, you know, putting paint down on the ground, some grass, and then put some meadows over top of it, right? We're probably going to do a little bit of that, too, just to make sure we have this as close to a straight, square rectangle as possible. But yeah, today's a good day, man. I have $309,000. We're going to make some upgrades today. We need to. Most specifically around the fertilizer spreader. That fertilizer spreader has got to be upgraded. It's still that tiny one. We've got to upgrade it. Now that we have $309,000, we have the means and the funds to do so. I actually didn't do too bad on this line here. It's actually pretty damn good. This one is much better now. I'm happy with that. We're going to go with that. Now we got to just try to connect it. Now the connection here, I think I might have went a little bit too far down there. I was trying to kind of eyeball it. I probably should have utilized some paint to paint out a square, if you will, but too late now, right? Now, as far as this sawmill goes here, I think that's where most of our money was made. A lot of people in the comments said I need to be careful with that sawmill because it is overpowered. And, I mean, we have $309,000, so I would probably state they are probably correct with that statement, that it is a little overpowered. But I'm okay with that, as long as it's not too extreme. As long as we're not, you know, filling it up to max every episode, right? I mean, eventually we're going to make the same amount of money on the other sawmills. It's just going to take longer. And right now, time is what's killing us more than anything. It's not, you know, it's just how long it takes for us to get through these trees so we can actually expand the farm a little bit, right? That's the biggest problem we're dealing with. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get rid of those trees down there. I had initially thought maybe I'd keep those 3 trees down there and kind of put something around them. I did not want to put that on a worker. But I have since kind of changed my mind on that statement. So today we are going to continue getting this whole field plowed up, ready to go. We're going to buy a planter for sugarcane. Upgrade our fertilizer spreader. None of the fields are ready to harvest yet today. We will probably need to do at least some sort of a second application of fertilizer on that field we drilled in the last episode. Chop these guys down real quick. We'll also take a look at the used market, see if there's anything out there for us. Oh, but I get smacked in the face with that. Woo! I got out of the way just in time there. Whew. Not sure if there's anything out there or not. We normally do not get lucky enough to have anything out in the used market. Let's see. I was looking at the used market before I flipped to this month. There's some tractors out here which would be useful. It's pretty much the same tractor we have now. There's a baler, cotton baler, slurry distributor, and a John Deere. I mean, those are some nice tractors. I think we're getting close to a point. I've mentioned this prior. I know I have. That, oh, that didn't go well. Oh. There we go. I mentioned prior that it's a point where we're getting close to needing, really, to have a second tractor, because we're getting a lot of fields going now, which means sooner or later we are going to need a worker doing something for us, because I can't do it all and keep up once we get once this gets going a lot bigger than it currently is. So there's a chance there, but really, you know, we kind of want to get the other two things we need first, and then we'll kind of see what kind of money we have at that point, and potentially look at one of those tractors. But the odds are not in the favor of those tractors being purchased today, unfortunately. I was hoping for, you know, a sugarcane planter or something that we are going to potentially buy today, a fertilizer spreader. I was hoping one of those was going to be in the used market. Obviously, we never get that lucky, but always worth a shot checking them out and making sure, right? I can go ahead and turn off the map here now. I kind of have the outside edge where we're most concerned with taken care of, right? Over there on that edge there. That's the one that matters. Okay, are we, because we're stuck on the plow? That would make a whole lot of sense. There we go. Perfect. All right, we go put the winch away, and we'll hook back up to the plow here. We'll try to fix this as much as we can. And by fix it, I mean just go ahead and finish off the squaring of that field. So let's take a look here. We got a quick save, obviously. We did have a little hail damage that happened between the last episode and now. Small little patches. Let me get up here so you can actually see it. There's a little bit here in the grass field. There's a little bit there. That's it, though. No other hail damage, so it wasn't too terrible. It was just a tiny little portion there. And as I'm sure you saw in the map there when I was showing it to you, the fertilizer that needs to be put down on the field we actually drilled in the last episode, the new field we drilled in the last episode, was very spotty, right? So it does need a little bit of work. Yeah, we'll do some cover. We'll do some touch-up work, gang. It's not a big deal. Little paint of grass down on the ground, a little bit of meadow. No big deal. No big deal. So if you haven't, for whatever reason, been watching the Survivor 25 series, we actually finally started on Farm 2 recently. Reinvigorated me a little bit in that series. I had mentioned it prior. That series was a little... I don't know if this is the word I really want to utilize or not. I'm going to utilize it, but I was getting a little bit bored with the series, I guess. Not because I wasn't enjoying doing Farming Simulator. I just felt like we were doing the exact same thing over and over again. Having fully said that, it is Farming Simulator, right? A lot of the stuff you're doing is the same thing over and over again, but just felt like all we were doing was a contract, get enough money, put down a greenhouse, fill it with water. Next episode, do the exact same thing yet again. And I felt like we had enough of a base there on Farm 1 to go ahead and start on Farm 2, and everybody seemed to agree with that. So we went ahead and started on Farm 2. Reinvigorated me a little bit. We are doing something on that, I guess, that we have yet to do on FS25. We're doing some root crops, so Pretty excited there. Tried to set up kind of a grid type of system, which I do think looks a lot better. And it's definitely what you want to do if you're doing root crops, for sure. You want a perfectly squared off section. It's just harvesting that is not the easiest thing to harvest. And the harvester I like to utilize is pretty big, and it's hard to turn it one way. You can turn it one way relatively easy, but if you try to go the other way, you're going to run into the tractor. It's just a mess. Alright, I think that's about as straight as I'm possibly going to get that, gang. I don't think I can get that any better. So now we just got to go up and down the middle here. Alright, while we're doing that, let's see here. Sugarcane. Where are the sugarcane at? There it is, sugarcane planters. So the planter, we've got a, let's see, it's a single row and a double row. The double row is 85. I don't know why we wouldn't buy the double row. Doesn't really, 200 horsepower. Our tractor has more than 200 horsepower, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that now that I said that. 247, yeah. So we're good. So we'll buy the double row. That'll help us. It's going to take a long time to plant this. Sugarcane is not a fast thing to do. I really haven't done sugarcane at all. I did it very, very briefly. Not on camera. It was before I was even doing videos on YouTube. I did it very briefly in FS22. But it was... I mean, I really don't know what I'm doing, I guess, with sugarcane. I guess is what I'm trying to get at. But we'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. We'll figure it out. Alright, one other thing I want to look at here is there's still plenty of wood in there, so I don't think it really chewed through all that. I think it's just having 3 of these is certainly helping, right? A lot of stumps we're going to be getting rid of here, as you can see. There's a lot of stumps in this area. Alright, so while I continue here plowing this up, let's go ahead and purchase the sugarcane planter here. We're going to buy the two-row billet planter. Pretty expensive, but I think it's worth it. Now, as far as rice saplings is what we need, right? No, those are rice. That's just regular rice. I guess it's just regular seeds that sugarcane uses. I don't know. I don't remember. No, get up. I keep hitting the... I'm trying to hit left bumper and B. I'm on console. I'm trying to hit left bumper and B, and sometimes the left bumper and B combo doesn't register for whatever reason. Alright, and let's see. We want a fertilizer spreader upgrade as well, so we should look at that. What do we got here? What do we got? 2,000 liters. 3,900, but that doesn't do lime. Don't really need to worry about lime that much, though. We'll utilize this one already. That one is not a lime possible fertilizer spreader either, the big one. I'm kind of leaning towards the other one. I don't know if that's the right play or not, but I'm kind of leaning towards this mod that I downloaded, this IMAK DF2000. The one we currently have has 300 liters. This has 2,000 liters. I guess this one could work too. The Kverneland Exacta TLX. I guess that could work as well. I mean, our fields are getting pretty big here, right? But I don't think they're going to be big enough that we would really need the big, massive one that we utilize in the Triple Threat Challenge, right? I don't think we need one that big, do we? I don't really think we do. I mean, everything we're going to be doing is going to be near our yard. There's no real... I mean, there are contracts, but we're not doing any contracts on this series at all. And there's only a few actual fields on this map. So the contracts are going to be far and few between anyway. If we were even doing them. So yeah, I think we'll go with this guy here. Yeah, we're going to go with that guy. Might mean we need to fill it up every single time we want to go and fertilize a field or whatever, but that's fine. That's fine with me. That doesn't really bother me. Now, I talked about, I think in the last episode, of maybe kind of having this go really close to this field. I decided not to do that because I feel like pretty soon, if not, you know, the next time whenever we harvest this, next time we actually get ready to plant that, we'll probably be expanding that field and doing what I said we were going to do with it, right? Trying to square it off a little bit more as well. So I just decided to go against it. Now, as far as what else we're going to do in this section here, I'm going to get rid of those trees over there for sure. We're probably going to start taking out some trees over there, and then we're definitely going to get rid of all the trees, I think, on this hill. Now, as far as what we're going to do on the hill, I'm not positive yet. We might expand this field up into the hill. We could expand the field that we have currently on the hill up there, because that is an awkward shaped field, so the more we can make that a more realistic squared or rectangle type of field, I think the better. I do think those fields just work better. They look better. So we'll see, but that's kind of the next plan as far as the trees on this side goes. As far as the sawmills over there, I talked about in the last episode, we're going to get rid of the one sawmill. We're just going to let it run out, then we're going to get rid of it. We are going to put probably a second one of those small sawmills down over there somewhere, but a little bit further away from where that one sawmill is. Just so we can try to, you know, focus a little bit more about getting some of these trees down and out so we can actually expand the yard, expand the fields, expand the farm in general, right? Oh my gosh, get off the worker! Alright, so this is the last little bit here, and then this field is ready to go with the exception of getting rid of the stumps, so we're going to do that immediately here. And once we get rid of the stumps, we'll head up to the shop, we'll pick up the planter, probably buy some seed while we're up there, why not? And we do have to upgrade our buying silo. Remember, we talked about that, we didn't do it. It's on the list of things to do, we haven't done it yet. So is buying a power washer, that's on the list of things to do. Again, haven't done it yet. More of those are going to be done when we, you know, when we're having a little bit less to do. Right? We don't have as much going on. We have an episode where there's just fertilizing and woodworking or something like that. Let me put this away over here. We'll get the stump grinder out. It's already out, actually. We'll go pick up the stump grinder. We'll get to work on grinding those stumps up. So I'll take care of that, and I'll be back with you in a second. There's a whole lot of stumps in here, gang. I think this is the last batch over here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get rid of these stumps. I'll go drop this off, and then we're going to pick up our fertilizer spreader, our small fertilizer spreader. We're going to go and repair it for whatever repairing it needs. That way we get the full amount out of it. We'll bring it up to the shop. We're going to paint it and sell it. And then we're going to pick up... I'm actually going to drop the weight off here, too. We're going to pick up the new fertilizer spreader. I'll probably attach it to the front. And then we'll pick up the planter and put that on the back, and we'll head back down here. The way we don't have to make two trips. We can just get it all done in one. I'm probably also going to buy a pallet or a box or whatever of fertilizer to fit into that fertilizer spreader while we're up there. We might as well just go ahead and do it. Why not? I think we got them all. Let's do a bit of a quick bird's eye view here and make sure we're not missing anything. There's probably going to be one I miss, and we're not going to see it for, you know, a while, but eventually we will find it and we can fix it. Not a big deal. I think we're good. Maybe a little bit of a touch up there, but I think we're good. All right, let's go put this away. We'll accomplish everything I just said. I'll see you when I've got everything all taken care of, and we're heading back to the farm here. All right, well, we are nearly done here, gang. I had to go fill up more seed in the sugarcane and solid fertilizer, and I believe I misspoke when we were up at the shop. We did go ahead and put in the new buying silo in the last episode. I think I misspoke. I apologize. I did not mean to state we need to upgrade that. It's one of the other series that we got to upgrade that on, so I apologize. That was on me. Not too much left to do here. It is a decent speed that it takes to... what? Decent speed that it takes... Talk correct, Z. It doesn't take too long to do this. It does go at a decent speed, 7 mile per hour, 7 mile per hour. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent width here, right? So it's not taking too long, and it's kind of a cool little machine here, right? Basically, it's kind of like a dumper, and it dumps it into like a conveyor belt, and then it puts fertilizer on top of it, and then rows them into the ground. It's kind of cool. Kind of hard to see all the workings of it, though. You know, you really can't see it very well. This is really the best view to see how it works, but still a pretty cool machine here. The old Gesner billet planter. Pretty cool. And it comes with the ability to put down the fertilizer, right? So we don't have to put down an application of fertilizer here at all until the next episode, and we may not have to put it on at all, considering this was grass. Now, there might be a few spots we're going to have to do. It's going to be similar probably to the field straight ahead of us, the oat field we put in, right? That oat field is spotty because it was grass, but there are parts of it that aren't really grass. And as you can see, it's pretty spotty. It looks like it's going to be a similar situation here because it is already spotty too, but we'll see how it looks in the next episode, right? Whenever it's already been germinated for a little while and see where we need to put fertilizer down, and we will do so. 2 more passes here, and we are done with this. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pick up our new fertilizer spreader, and we're going to spread some fertilizer on that oat field over there just to make sure it's all kosher and ready to go and as fully fertilized as humanly possible. We probably should have rolled that field. We didn't do that. Probably should roll this field too. Might pick up one of those tractors though, so we can actually do some other stuff as well. We've got $210,000 right now. I don't think we're going to need a whole lot more money for a little while. We will need a sugarcane harvester though, and they're not cheap. $349, right? So hopefully all the wood that we have will continue to make us a ton of money like it has been, and we should be able to afford that. Now, as far as sugarcane goes, as far as the growing of sugarcane, I don't know how many stages it takes for sugarcane. I would suspect that it's a long time, but I really don't know. All right, let's fold this all back up here. We can go ahead and put this away. Starting to fill out our sheds already, man. They're getting full already. We're going to need some more soon. Now, that little box of fertilizer there is what was remaining in that little tiny fertilizer spreader we had. There wasn't much. It was like 400 or 500 liters, something like that. So we can top up this one when we're done, right? When we're done fertilizing our field over here, our oat field, we can top this fertilizer spreader up with what's remaining in that box, just to get it out of the way. All right, we're going to put the steering assist on, because why not? And we're underway here, gang. 2 new pieces of equipment today. This is good, man. A new fertilizer spreader absolutely is going to help us. It's a decent width. It's not as big as some of the other ones are, but it's still a decent width. Holds a lot, which is really the most important thing. But I really like that planter, and that planter is really, really cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so, anything new in the used market? No. So, we can get basically the tractor we have. I think it actually has a little bit more horsepower than we have for 147. Or we can get this John Deere for 119. 22 months, 16 months. Would mean that they would require a lot of service, though. I'm not sure it's the right move. I always feel like buying a used tractor, unless you're doing a challenge where you have to, right? If this was early on in this series, right, and we had to buy a tractor, obviously that's the way to go. But since we're a little bit further along now in this series and we're making some decent money off these trees, I don't really think that is really the way to go. If we're going to buy used equipment, I think it needs to be not a tractor. We just utilize tractors so much. We would have to be servicing that tractor an awful lot, and the service would be it is very expensive, I should say. It's not even would be. It is very expensive. Now, you have to understand that, having said that, the tractor we're currently utilizing right now, we've got 41 hours on it, right? So the service that we're doing for this is already expensive. So I guess if you factor that in, 22 months and 16 months isn't that bad, right? It's really not that bad. How much horsepower does it come with? 281. That thing is... Oof, it needs some paint, big time. Ours does too, to be fair, but... So we'll think about it. I might just buy a new tractor outright instead. We really, this one is kind of our workhorse, right? It does everything we need. So we really don't need one that has the same level, I guess is how I would call it, of... Okay, we just need to go down the middle down here a little further. We don't really need the same level of horsepower, right? I don't think, personally. Whoa. Okay, that was something. That was quite a turn. It just took us down. Alright, so this should be good once we're down here to the end. So after this, the only remaining things left to do, honestly, is move some trees over here into the one sawmill, right? It's going to have some space now, so we can move some trees into there. We could take a look at the sheep, and then we can start knocking down some more trees. Not the most exciting thing to do, but we can start knocking down some more trees. Ideally, we want to get ourselves prepped to put down another field somewhere. Realistically, it's probably going to be taking away some of the grass field and turning that into another field. We've talked about doing that for a long, long time. We've been holding off on it, and now that we've kind of expanded over to here, we've kind of neglected that area a little bit. So we need to spend a little bit of time over there kind of cleaning that area up, making it look a little bit better. But to really do so, we've got to get rid of more trees, right? So might be time for another sawmill over there. Let me go ahead and hook up to the winch here. Should we just make sure that this doesn't need anything else? Doesn't look like it needs anything else. Doesn't look like there's any weeds or anything. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Alright, so let's head over here. We can push some of these trees into there, if you will. I'm going to drop the weight off here. For now, temporarily. Also would like to potentially get a trailer for the new semi that we bought. As you remember, we bought a semi here, right? And it's just sitting up at the shop for right now until we have something that we really can utilize or want to utilize for it. Alright, let's get this all set up here. Grass is also ready to mow, so I guess we could mow the grass today, too. There should be enough room in here, right? Yeah, there's room in there. They should be able to fit all three of those trees in there. Oh, we're glitching all over the place again. This is going well. Let me try to get this guy in first, then. Okay. Maybe now I can have a little bit of user time. This thing's heavy, though, to be fair. Well, that went well. Maybe I should have brought the weight over here. I'd have to switch out, though, and it'd be good right now to have a second tractor, actually, now that we think about this. There we go. There we go. We got it to go in there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, what do we got? 133. So not much room left in there, but there is some. This one, we've got a few trees here that we need to kind of pick up, so they go into there. That's the remainder of the trees that are going to go into that sawmill. That sawmill would not be receiving any more trees because we are going to get rid of it in favor of the new, smaller sawmill. Okay, perfect. All right. So we should be able to push a few more in here. I'm going to push these down in here. They may not all... Well, they're not all going to accept. I shouldn't even say they may not all accept. We know for a fact they're not all going to accept all these trees, but we're going to push them down that way anyway. That way they're there. They're kind of out of the way a little more. Area's looking better already. $144. Actually, I think they're all going to fit in there. That's actually very surprising. I was not expecting that. We need to pick up this grass that I mowed a while ago that's just been sitting here. It's almost to the point where the other grass is completely covering it now. We need to go ahead and get that taken care of. That way we can clean this up a little bit. That way maybe we can put down a few greenhouses today as well. Perfect. They all went in there. That's awesome. Okay. Let me go take care of putting all this stuff back away. I'll come over here. Ooh, there's a big jump there. We're going to have to smooth all that out. We're going to smooth this whole area out. We're going to make it look a little bit better over here as well. We're going to take some time, some effort on this. Be back. All right, I actually had some guys come down and throw some gravel down for me, and we worked on this area a little bit. It still needs some work. We're going to continue to work on it as we move along. But it has been upgraded. It does look better, I think, and we've got some new items. So most specifically, the first things you're really going to notice is we put down 2 more greenhouses, 2 more mushroom greenhouses, so that's going to help us out tremendously. I also had some guys come down and throw some gravel down around the outside edges here. I just think it looks a little bit better. We also put some gravel down around all of the greenhouses, as you can see, and I think that looks really good as well. We're going to continue as we move along, you know, adding some gravel down in places and just trying to make it look a little bit better. The other thing that we put down that you may have already noticed, but if you didn't, you'll see it in just a second. We put down another small sawmill over there where our shed was before we moved it to the new yard. I think that's a good spot for it, right? So that way we'll have a sawmill down here. We'll have a little sawmill right there, which we can help focus on getting these trees out because there's a lot of trees here. And then we'll have a sawmill, obviously, over there working on that section. Now, eventually, we are going to have to get one of the big dog sawmills. And when I say the big dog sawmill, I'm talking about the most expensive base vanilla game sawmill. The reason why we're going to need that is because that is the only one at current, unless something comes out between now and the next episode, or the next couple of episodes, I guess I should say. I'm not guaranteeing we're going to get in the next episode, but that's the only one that allows prefab walls. And if we want to complete our project, our log cabin project up there, we've got to get prefab walls going. So that means we've got to put down that other sawmill. Hopefully, there will be something that comes out soon that's a little bit cheaper from a sawmill perspective, but if it's not, guess what? We're going to have to save up for it. It's going to be probably a bit, though, because we want to make sure we have enough money to get the sugarcane harvester, right? That's going to be an important thing for us. We're going to build a bit of a greenhouse complex over here. It's not going to be a ton of greenhouses. I'm going to fully tell you that right now. I'm thinking probably 4 going this way and then maybe 4 right on the other side of this going that way. I think that's the way that we're going to go. If we do more later, we do more later, right? But for now, I think 4 is sufficient. And it looks like we are full on the greenhouses, so I can go ahead and get those started. Well, we're almost full on them. All right, so we need to activate, and we want to sell those. And then activate, and sell. Perfect. Okay, it's telling me that they weren't full. The one's not full, but it wasn't accepting, wouldn't allow me to put any more water in it, so who knows? Guess I don't need to be that far up out in the air there, but whatever. Anyway, you get the point, right? We've got more sawmills. We're working on the yard area over here. We're actually probably going to shrink it down a little bit. I think I might have mentioned that in a number of episodes ago. Yeah, I don't know. It's not accepting any more water. Well, I'm out of water now. I guess it did accept it. I guess I just missed it. Anyway, we're probably going to shrink this area over here since we're not really going to be utilizing it as our heavy yard anymore. So more than likely what we'll do is maybe expand this field slightly, right? Keep this track here as like our baseline. So kind of go like this up. It's not going to be a huge expansion, but just a little bit of expansion to try to make that look a little bit better. As far as this area goes and this, we said eventually we are going to move this barn, and we are going to eventually move the barn. So we'll see. We might put in, a field or something over here. Who knows what we do. But we'll probably shrink this down a little bit as well. Probably make it a little bit closer to our silos here, right? Maybe change out where the track is going to be, etc., right, as we move along here. But yeah, we're going to leave the episode at that point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting the like and the subscribe button for me if you haven't done so already. Those help me out an absolute ton, and they are completely free for you to do so. If you want to become a member, links down below in the description. You get access to this video and other videos early. Among other things, a members-only series every month. And, yeah. Thanks so much for your continued support. Thanks all to my 12 members. I cannot thank you guys enough. I'll see you on the next episode.